I find this not just with this, but with everything. People trying to hide their vulnerabilities. People don't want to talk about the fact I'm having a hard day or I'm having a difficulty. They want to. Everybody's trying to pretend that they get it. So what happens is that people don't learn from each other. People don't help each other. Everybody's got this whole mirage that their life's all working, and then they make other people feel like they're less than or stupid, or as opposed to just saying, look, these are difficulties that I've got. Do you also have them? Yes, we've all actually got them. So how do we help each other? And I think that, helping that in the sales environment, and but doing it in a gentle way by saying other people have experienced this, really helps people to start opening up. And this is the results other people have had. So one is saying to people, these are some of the frustrations that other people have had, but there's another benefit to saying, these are some of the results other people have had. Now, why do you think that that's better than saying, you'll get these results?
Maybe it's also that they're striving to reach what other people have and not necessarily being told what they will get.
Exactly, because why do you think that they would
also
rather
competitive nature, I think. People are generally competitive, so if they hear so-and-so took on this product and they sold 50,000 rand, you think, okay, I'm going to make sure it's 60.
Yeah, that fear of missing out.
Yeah.
If they got it, I want to get it. That's very important. What else is important in terms of so-and-so had these results, compared to me saying, you'll get those results?
Because it's proof.
One is proof. So one is something that's already happened, as opposed to, well, why should I believe you?
Yeah.
But if you tell me,
you're spinning your sales story because you want to get the sale.
Exactly. Whereas if you tell me somebody else got it, then it's like, then I'm going to make the decision. Well, if somebody else could get it, I could get it. Whereas if you tell me what I can get, that's much less powerful than me telling myself, well, if somebody else could get it, then I could get it. I want to draw that conclusion, or you want that person to draw that conclusion, as opposed to you drawing it for them. So it comes back to that whole thing about them being in control and them feeling like they're making the decision as they go along, because then you're going to get that commitment at the end, and they're going to do the action that you want them to do. So you're wanting them to go, if he can do it, I can do it, and oh well, it must work because somebody's already got those results. And also, it's less showy-offy, isn't it? It's by saying this is the result the person had. It's just a fact. You're not saying, oh, my product's so great, or what we do is so great. You're letting the results speak for themselves. So those things are really important when you're building things up. And I'm going through this, and am I going into too much granular detail here for you?
No, it's actually making good sense.
Because you'll see it'll all come together when I show you the structure, but I'm kind of explaining certain bits of it and why they're there, and then I'll go into what needs to be said, but I'm just giving you the rationale for why it's being said in that way. Okay, in terms of closing the deal, we're not going to go through that today, and we're not going to go through handling specific objections. Okay. But if we have time, we will go through the questioning process of trying to get them to uncover their needs, understand what the causes of their needs are, what the implication of not fixing that need is, and then building a shared vision with them, which I think is going to be really important for you, Werner, in the medical insurance business.
As we speak now, the tools that you're giving us already will automatically help with closing the deal eventually.
Okay, which specific ones?
Like indirect, when you're planting the actual seed, instead of saying, you're basically planting indirectly that seed by the person that they make up their own mind, convincing themselves. As you said, other client it worked. So like you're planting that seed, they're making up their own mind. They still have the choice. And eventually it will just close that gap of actually making the deal, making the deal.
And it means that you as a person, it can be quite like daunting, because you've got to give up control. Because you've got to I just want them to just go there. Just frigging sign, I know it's good for you. I know it's going to help you. I am being helpful, but just please, I've got 10 other people to see today. Okay? And it's slowing down and going, okay, I'm not in control of this decision, they are. And it's that kind of respecting the other person's right for free choice.
And
Right.
also, if I may add, you also need to identify certain types of behaviors, because certain people like to be guided.
Yeah.
And certain people like, as we just discussed, majority would like to make up their own mind.
Yeah. If they want to be guided, do you find that they will send signals on that, or how do you know the difference between somebody who wants to be guided and Mango?
Well, you won't see it, but it's always helpful from my experience. You know, when they hear that, it helps them. It makes them comfortable.
When you're building rapport and you're somebody that's to the point, you know, that person, normally they know what they talk, they know what they want, and you basically just fill in the gaps.
Yes.
Where some people start talking, keep on asking questions, and they more open for they asking the questions. Then you pick up, okay, those kind of behavior, they would like to be guided.
And who is the easier person to sell to? The person who knows exactly what they want, or the person who would like to be guided?
Person for me in my industry would like to be guided.
Someone wants to be guided, yeah.
Yes, and that's absolutely true. And why is that?
Because they basically depending on your expertise and on your, they're already open to what you have to say, and basically you're gonna make up their mind for them.
Yes, they're open to persuasion. They're looking for help. They may be a little bit confused. And those, when I say find the right targets, those are the people to find. You don't want to find somebody who's sitting there with a tender list and they've got to get however many people to quote on their tender. And what are you there? They call that column fodder. All you are a column fodder, and they're only going to pick you on price. Price. When you're a challenger in the market, you're just not going to win that way. You will always lose, because you're never going to have the same scale or the same price structure. You can only win on a few things. What do you think you can win on? We've already spoken about some of them.
You know, we're talking about service, right?
Service, so you can win on service, on helping people by giving them advice and helping them become better and more successful in their business. That's where you can win as a challenger.
That's something, do you get onto that? Because you can't ever, like, that's where I find it hard. If someone says, why should I go for you? You can't say because my service is good. How do you explain that to someone?
They experience it firsthand, and very early in my life, and I can vouch for it. Very early in my life in sales, I've realized that focusing on sale, for me, the service, the sale came automatically.
Yeah.
And that's all about you as a person, how you portray yourself.
Yeah.
People buy from people buy into you.
Yeah.
And when you are less focused on the sale and more into service, it's just like, it's hard to explain in bullet points. It's just the flow.
That I totally understand, because I've also been in sales for about 12, 13 years, and that is the way I sell. But if I'm meeting you for the first time, I don't want to say to you, trust me, my service is good.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing.
You can't say that.
So based on what we've spoken about this morning, and we have kind of touched on how to handle something like that, how could you handle it now? Somebody said, why should I buy from you?
I still actually right now, like, that's where I'm lost, because
but I know you lost, but thinking about what we've spoken about in this room. A reference story.
Okay.
Other clients have found, I worked with so-and-so, and what she found was, so you don't tell them what I'm going to do, you don't blow your own horn, you tell them what other people have experienced, and you give them reference stories. And you need 2 or 3 of these reference stories based around different needs, because different people are going to have different needs. So you need to come up, and we'll come up with 2 or 3 different reference stories.
And then that's like, something I've heard in many different things, and I've never ever applied it. But to do the reference stories would be good to actually put it onto like a Word document.
Yes,
right?
no, we're going to do it. We're going to
write
write them down
to clients, though, so that the reference is actually there with the name of a company and the name of a person, because you can also make up your own stories. But if there's something that's given with
absolutely,
a name, I need to do that, because I have so many of those.
I would call those testimonials, which is different from a reference story. So testimonial is somebody that just, okay, does somebody want to say what is the difference between a reference story and a testimonial? They're both powerful, but what's the difference?
The testimony is where the client actually do the actual confirmation. Where the other one is where the salesperson will say.
Yeah.
Like when you these TV ads that you have where they sell different products.
Yeah.
If you think about it, they all have these testimonials of clients, and subconsciously you're watching this ad and this product, and if it wasn't there, would you still be so interested in the product itself?
Yeah. So the testimonial is in the words of the client. It's not structured.
Yeah.
Whereas a reference story is structured in a certain way to get a particular point across. So you'll often have a reference story and you might back it up with something the client said. But the problem with a testimonial is you don't necessarily get all your points across.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not a problem, it's just that these two things can work together for different purposes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so like I wouldn't go and stand in front of somebody and say, my client told me I was absolutely marvelous.
Yeah.
What I would say is my client was facing this problem. These are this was the challenge in front of them. These were the actions we took, and here was the result.
Yeah.
Now that is a lot more powerful. Why? Than saying my client has said that we're the best thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm standing in front of somebody, I'm not going to tell them what my client said. I let them read that on something, on a website, on a newsletter. Okay, I'm not going to be the one standing there and saying what.
Yes.
But I can give them a reference story and say, when this happened to so and so, this is how we dealt with it, and this was their result.
Yeah.
Very structured, very professional. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not blowing my own horn.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you say a testimonial to someone, you can say people have, one client described our service as this or something. You can do that, but again, it's
You're stating the facts.
you state the facts. Yeah. Or one of our clients said that this was the advantage that it gave them. You can give them the reference story and say, as a result, the client actually said da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But you're giving the reference story.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this whole thing will take you out of this rejection mode, because now you're doing consultative selling, solution selling, and you're finding people that are in a state of flux, people that are not sure what they want. So those are the people you target first. If you know who they are or know what kind of industries they might be in, those are the people that are more open to you and more open to moving away from their current suppliers. If you're going to go to big companies that are established, that have got huge purchasing departments, it's a much, much longer lead time, harder sell. You're going to waste a heck of a lot of time on paperwork and probably, in many cases, get nowhere. Because really, it's just a tick list thing, or they've got to get certain points for BEE or whatever it is. It's much better to go and find those agile companies that are growing, emerging, in a state of flux, ambitious, people that are ambitious, and go right to the top of those organizations.
Less red takes.
Go to the people that can make the decisions. Do you find that? Okay, so we're clear what we're going to go through, but we've gone through already quite a bit of stuff. Okay. All right, so let me just take you through a little bit about the different. Oh, shit.